So Elon Musk is once again the most hated person in America after he announced on X that he'll be forming a new party, a party meant to bridge the gaps between the two extremes, a party meant to unify us under the patriotic flag, a party meant to highlight the benefits of civil discourse and bipartisanship, the America Party. And while in principle I think there is some merit to the idea of a third party, the timing on this was absolutely horrendous by Elon Musk. And that's why he's receiving a ton of backlash from both the left and the right that I don't think he was anticipating. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 300,000 subscribers, my friends. And before I show you the post of Elon Musk announcing this on X, I would love to give you a friendly reminder from Kamala Harris herself about how her and 70 million plus Americans feel about America and Western civilization, and why trying to unite them under our shared love of American democracy might be a challenge.
The United States has recognized the voyage of the European explorers who first landed on the shores of the Americas. But that is not the whole story. That has never been the whole story. Those explorers ushered in a wave of devastation for tribal nations, perpetrating violence, stealing land, and spreading disease. We must not shy away from this shameful past, and we must shed light on it and do everything we can.
So while it sounds good in theory that the America Party will draw all those moderates in from the left and from the right, he's seemingly forgetting a crucial point. There are no moderates on the left. The left is not a moderate party. They are a far left radical political organization. I mean, look no further than Zohran Mamdani. He won the Democrat primary as a self-proclaimed socialist. And now the internal debate within the Democrat Party is, do they go more left and further away from centrism? And now the internal debate within the Democrat Party is, do they follow his lead, move further to the left, and further isolate the people in the middle? They would only even contemplate making that decision if they were acutely aware that their party has no moderates left. The Republican Party is the moderate party. And let's not turn our strength into a weakness. A week ago, I showed results of a survey that showed the diversity of thought on the right is very vast, while on the left, it's very concentrated and limited. They're not open to new ideas or ways of thinking. The only people who would be, which gets into my crux of this entire argument, are people on the right. It would only take away from Republican voters. Here is the post from Elon Musk on X that kicked all of this off. He says, Independence Day is the perfect time to ask if you want independence from the two-party system. Some would say uniparty system. Should we create the America Party? And as you can see, it got 65.4% votes saying yes. He says, one way to execute on this would be to laser focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. Given the razor-thin legislative margins, that would be enough to serve as the deciding vote on contentious laws, ensuring that they serve the true will of the people. Again, it sounds good in theory, and I'll break down why it's a problem in a second, but after the results of that poll, he follows up with this next announcement tweet. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party, and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. Now, let's touch on what I just said a second ago. The glaringly obvious problem that only 36% of Democrats say that they have any pride in being American. So I'm sure most of them will just be turned off by their sheer lack of patriotism. While that same allure to patriotism will certainly have a much more profound effect on people on the right. The more important part is the policies. The only 2 areas of contention Elon Musk even had with Trump before he threw this hissy fit was he wanted much more extensive cuts to the government budget and much more H-1B immigration from India. And number 3, Democrats hate Elon Musk. They think he's a Nazi. Did he already forget that they firebombed his dealerships the last time he tried to engage in government spending cuts? The only people who think Trump's bill should have cut more is other Republicans. And while his utopian vision of Republicans having 48 senators, Democrats having 48 senators, and the America Party having 4 in the middle that can help decide legislation, the truth is it would just majorly peel off votes from Republican candidates, making the Democrats overwhelming winners in the midterm elections. In actuality, it would probably look more like 67 Democrat senators, 30 Republican ones, and then 3 from the America Party. The Democrats would have a supermajority. They would likely impeach Donald Trump. They would repeal everything in the big, beautiful bill. They would open the borders up again. They would halt Donald Trump's plans of reshoring manufacturing in America. It would be a nightmare scenario for Republicans. The MAGA Party has people in it who are thrilled with the big, beautiful bill. It also has people in it who wanted more cuts, more conservative officials. And that diversity of thought is a good thing. Just because one particular ideology didn't get their way doesn't mean you fracture the party in half. You don't cut your foot off because you stubbed your toe. Now, a very popular Republican campaigner by the name of Scott Pressler, who many credit for Donald Trump's win in Pennsylvania, lambasted Elon for this untimely move and just how disastrous it could be. He says, "Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. I have warned that the creation of a third party will siphon votes away from the Republican Party, with warnings of the Ross Perot effect and losing Virginia in 2013 because of a third party. Buyer beware. A Democrat House in 2026 equals game over." He continues, "If Republicans lose the House in 2026, which the creation of a third party is likely to do, there will be no budget for DHS and to deport criminal illegal aliens. We will likely lose 2028, and there goes your control over the census. The border opens up again, and it was all for naught." And this is why I'm starting to get particularly frustrated with Elon Musk. As much as I'm a fan of him as an investor, as a business person, as a visionary, I think he's throwing quite a tantrum for not getting exactly his way when it comes to this reconciliation bill. All the wins we've been accruing over the first 6 months of this administration, now combined with the passing of this legislation, plus the Supreme Court saying that district judges can no longer issue these national injunctions, we are now truly about to see things kick into high gear. And Elon Musk is just so uncomfortable not being in total control that he's deciding to make the rash move of creating a new political party that will be a supposed middle ground party, but will in practicality just be Republican adjacent and siphon off every single Republican who was upset that there weren't more spending cuts. It will siphon off no Democrats. He knows this, but he's blatantly ignoring it. Democrats don't want their minds changed. They want what they want, and that's a radical socialist, sexualized, transgender society, big bloated government, 100% taxes on the wealthy, and they're not budging. Just to hammer in one last time how the average Democrat feels about the MAGA movement, here's this account quote tweeting a picture of Kathy Griffin holding up a decapitated head of Donald Trump. So these are the people Elon Musk believes are eager to be holding hands in kumbaya with upset MAGA voters. And this is even so glaringly obvious that MSNBC is saying that it's good for Democrats. Look.
Is it more likely that Musk and Trump are going to simply be selecting opposing primary candidates in some sort of a proxy battle, or is this like a real thing?
I think it's most likely that they're going to get back together because they kind of need each other and they both want to be powerful and relevant at the end of the day. The reality is that most people out there, whether they're on the right or the left, they don't want to have something handed down to them from a billionaire at the top of the system. I think the reason people embraced Trump originally was they thought he was going to kind of be their voice. And now with this most recent bill, it's obvious he was defrauding them all along and just trying to help out himself and people who are like him. And the idea that Elon Musk would be the next champion, to me, is just a joke. And so this is a good occasion for the Democrats to try to find their footing again as more of a blue collar party. And I think if Musk thinks he's going to, make that harder on them by himself becoming a man of the people, I think he's in for a rude awakening.
Like, I get Elon Musk's frustration. I wanted more spending cuts, fine, but I understand the bill. I understand the strategy. I'm optimistic that it will work. I can see why Elon Musk wants a third party, because in theory, it puts you in the middle of two competing ideologies. But that's not what this is, nor is that what this moment needs. All of the Democrats with common sense, with rationality, with a desire for civil discourse have already joined the MAGA movement. That's what's contributing to our large diversity of thought and opinion. The real solution for Elon Musk is to back elected officials under the Republican Party that would support a more fiscally conservative approach that he wants. Republicans would then maintain the majority, and there would be more influence from within the party to create fiscally responsible legislation. Because if you split the party in two and Democrats start winning everywhere all over the place and get a supermajority, then you're certainly not going to get decreased government spending, but you're also going to get a pullback and a stoppage to all of Trump's other policies that you happen to agree with. You can't go and sink the whole ship because you didn't get your way. It's just irresponsible, and it stifles the massive amount of momentum Donald Trump has built up over these first 6 months. Right now, the MAGA movement is chugging along, and the Democrats are otherwise terrified. Because if Elon Musk sits back and just does nothing, Donald Trump can implement his whole agenda full swing. But they're frothing at the mouth at the idea that Elon creates a separate party, siphons off Republican voters, and allows the Democrats to regain ground. As long as they have their radical policies and we have ours, we'll continue to win. Here is one of the woke squad congresswomen saying that ICE deportations are about to 10 to 12x as a result of this bill.
The big bad betrayal bill increases that number to 45 billion. 45 billion from 3.5 billion. So across the board, and then there's separate money for ICE agents, for any number of pieces of the transportation, the deportation, all of that. So it is really essentially saying if whatever you see right now, Joy, multiply that by 10 to 12 times. That's what we're going to start seeing in terms of ICE agents terrorizing, disappearing, kidnapping immigrants, deporting them to third countries, holding them in incarceration facilities. These are jails now. These are not really civil detention centers, which is what they're supposed to be.
I mean, concentration camps is what I call them. We just looked at that alligator one in Florida.
So Democrats are terrified because they know Trump is about to be more effective than ever. Why would Elon Musk try to ruin that momentum? Democrats don't like you, bro. They firebombed your dealerships because they think you're a Nazi. And that is the entire Democrat base at the moment. He assumes half the Democrat base is still full of rational, critically thinking people who are just looking for a home in the middle. No, the Democrat philosophy is we want what we want, and if you disagree, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're a bigot, you're a racist. That doesn't sound to me like people who are willing to parlay. I hope Elon isn't serious. I hope this is one of his rants that he's just having. I hope he comes to his senses, continues to focus on Tesla, on SpaceX, on going to Mars, and him and Trump can reconcile in some way. Because we are certainly stronger as a movement when they're working together. I just want Elon to focus on taking us to Mars, and Trump can focus on taking America to the promised lands. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.